Hello and welcome to Superscreen News at 6, broadcasting to you live from the city of Lagos State, Nigeria. I am Olamide Onka. Many thanks for joining us. The governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC in Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, has been declared the winner in his polling unit of Ison Ward. The result, as released by the polling agents, are as follows. APC polled a total of 186, while PDP got -2, and while APA were 1 with a total of 345 registered voters. And now joining us live from Ekiti State is Superscreen political editor Adenike Oweye Ajiboye. Hello Nike, how's the election going over there?
Well, the election started as expected at 8 a.m. and interestingly, the electorate came out in a large number. It was quite a huge number. You know, we would have expected that we would all annoyed about security, the presence of security, maybe that would create fear in people. But I tell you what, people defied all odds and came out in a large number to cast their vote. And I'm talking from Kodia area, from the place the APC governorship candidates, Kayode Fayemi, came from.
Okay, so Ninike, how would you describe the election process? Would you describe it as free and fair?
The election process was very free and fair. You know, one would have expected that you would experience ballot snatching and all of that. But I tell you, it's been peaceful. You know, the electorate conducted themselves well. Even the officials, there was no form of argument or ballot snatching or, you know, it was just totally or generally peaceful.
Did you observe, by any chance, any form of irregularities during the polls in Ekiti State?
Well, like I told you from where I was reporting from, the area of the APC candidate, Kayode Fayemi, there wasn't any form of irregularity. But from what I heard from other people covering from where Eleka is, that's Kolapo, the governorship candidate of People's Democratic Party, PDP, I heard that there are areas where the snatch boxes in, but how true that is what I cannot confirm at this moment in time.
But basically, let's talk about the security presence. How is the security presence, and did it create any form of intimidation to the electorate?
The electorate were not intimidated in any way. The security presence was heavy. But in the area of the APC candidate, like 4 years ago, because I covered that particular area, and I think the security presence was even heavier than what it is at the moment. The police personnel that are deployed in that area is not as heavy as what was 4 years ago. So the security presence, yes, it was heavy, but the people were not afraid.
I'm sure Nigerians would want to know if the governorship aspirants themselves, did they vote? And what about the sitting governor, Ayodele Fayose? Did he also vote, and how's he doing?
Yes, I went to Fayose's house too, and I saw him went to cast his vote. But we made efforts to talk to him, but unfortunately he appears tired. He said he cannot grant interview now, though he's been able to grant interview for some journalists. But when I approached him, he couldn't grant interview. He said he was tired. So, but he did cast his vote.
Okay, at what stage is the election right now? What stage is the voting process of the Ekiti election right now?
At the moment, voting has ended. Don't forget, the election process was accreditation alongside with voting. People were doing their accreditation and at the same time casting their vote. So, and that started about 8 a.m. and then it ended at 2 p.m. Of course, at that 2 p.m., you still have people on the queue whom they also gave the right to exercise their franchise. But those who came after 2 p.m. were not allowed. So at the moment right now, the votes are being counted, and the electorate stood and also counting with the officials.
Okay, thank you very much, Adenike. We'll be expecting more details as the happening unfolds there.
Definitely.
Political editor Adenike Oweye Ajiboye reporting live from Ekiti State, where the governorship election is currently ongoing. Still talking the Ekiti election, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has accused the All Progressives Congress, APC, and its candidate in the Ekiti State governorship election, Kayode Fayemi, of clothing talks imported from Imo and other neighboring states to Ekiti State. In a statement issued by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Kola Ologbodinyo, the party alleged that officials of the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting and top officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, were involved in plans to print matching sensitive voting materials. When contacted, Director of Media of Kayode Fayemi Campaign Office, Wole Olujobi, who debunked the allegation, said the PDP is applying reverse psychology technique. To other news now, the President Muhammad Buhari will visit the Netherlands on Sunday to participate in activities to commemorate the 28th anniversary of the adoption of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, ICC, at The Hague. Media advisor to the President, Femi Adesina, who disclosed this in a statement, said the President will use the global platform to reaffirm Nigeria's support to fundamental values of the Rome Statute and the ideals of the ICC. It will also highlight his administration campaign against corruption in Nigeria. And now the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has apologized to the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, for bad conduct and mistreatment. Media aide to the former president, Kehinde Akinyemi, who disclosed this to journalists, said the party's national chairman, Uche Secondus, who led a 21-member delegation of the party's National Working Committee on a courtesy visit on Obasanjo, gave the apology. According to Akinyemi, all the issues raised by Secondus are the situation in the country, the progress of the Memorandum of Understanding on the Grand Alliance of the Coalition of United Political Parties. He also said the PDP national chairman also appealed to Obasanjo to continue to prefer solution to the nation's social, economic, and political problems. Meanwhile, the federal government says it has enrolled a total of 330,820 employees from 486 of its ministries, departments, and agencies on the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System. Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, who disclosed this in Abuja, said the federal government would, on Monday, July 18, 2018, commence the first phase of the verification exercise for those who have updated their records on the platform. She also said any employee of the federal government that are yet to update their records would have their details deleted from the payroll platform, adding that those who fail to update their records would not be included in the verification exercise.
That the Federal Executive Council gave approval on the 12th of July 2017 for the 2017-2020 Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan of the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. The 2017-2020 Strategy and Implementation Plan has 8 priority areas identified and selected based on their potential for impact and relevance to the economic recovery and growth plan of the federal government, especially as it relates to the implementation roles of the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. Provided a project management office commenced sensitization of stakeholders within the service, engaged multilateral and development partners and some private sector champions as partners. Now, the overall objective of the IPEACE project management team is to accelerate the rollout of the full implementation of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, IPEACE, Human Resource Module. As at the end of June 2018, a total number of 486 MBAs have been enrolled on the IPEACE, with over 330,820 employees being paid salaries through the IPEACE platform.
In reaction, the Permanent Secretary, Career Management Office, Mustafa Suleiman, said almost all MDAs and some agencies in Abuja will be captured, and those with genuine issues of not being able to register online.
We are going to verify next week are the OMDAs, that is mainline ministries and some agencies that in Abuja, and almost all of them have been captured. The only small number that we have are in respect of certain personnel that they have, and they are really not too many. They are negligible in number. For instance, if you have 1,400 personnel in the ministry, those that are outstanding would probably be about 30 or 20. So in that wise, we think we have captured sufficient number to go ahead with the verification. So this first phase is going to cover all MBAs that have already been captured and their personnel, except those few which are from our records are really not numbers that we should worry too much about. So all MBAs that we are starting verification on from Monday have actually been captured. Those of them who have genuine reasons not to have uploaded their data on the portal, there will be a mop-up exercise that will address those issues.
In other news, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has appealed to traditional rulers to assist the federal government in curbing violence in the country. Mustafa, who said this while receiving a delegation of royal fathers in Abuja, urged the rulers to use their good offices to complement efforts of the government in stemming the rising tide of drug abuse and criminal activities across the country.
As traditional rulers and royal fathers, it is generally believed that you hold the key to the success or failure of security administration in your constituencies and in the country, because you operate at the grassroots of the society and interact closely with the people in their daily activities. You remain in the front line of stakeholders in the business of peace building in every community. And you've shared that responsibility for several years. Peace building promotes development, which in turn attracts investment to the country. As you are aware, the situation of peace and security in the country today deserves collective approach by the government, the traditional institutions, faith-based organizations, and the community in its entirety.
In reaction, the chairman coordinating committee, Yahya Abubakar, highlighted the history, objectives, and goals of the National Council of Traditional Rulers in Nigeria.
An opportunity for dialogue that enhances ethnic communication while promoting national cohesion and identity. This will go a long way in stemming intertribal, intercommunal, and interreligious conflicts, and in containing ethnic suspicion, animosity, aggression, and other conflicts. It is also hoped that being members of the Council will afford the traditional rulers opportunities for partnership, for growth among their communities, to promote trade, and to form alliances among themselves for the protection of their people's lives, property, dignity, rights, and freedom. The Council will also be a great forum for cultural interaction and possible integration. It will curb the lack of understanding of other ethnic groups and their respective cultures.
And now the Nigerian Army has assured the alumni of the Nigerian Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPSS, of its support in the achievement of its mandate. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai gave the assurance during a courtesy visit of the Alumni Association to the Nigerian Army headquarters in Abuja. Buratai said the Nigerian Army will continue to support and collaborate with the Institute in areas related to security issues, military technology, and national development.
The Army has a very large number of their members. We will continue to give you all the support that is required. We will also collaborate with you in all areas. We are very much aware of the enormous resources, small resources, the capacity that the African Association has, especially where it has to do with issues on security, especially issues that has to do with development, and indeed, which has to do with the military technology, military thinking, as well as a number of areas that we believe we can collaborate with you. No wonder you mentioned the Director General of the Nigerian Army Resource Center. It's a proud product of the Institute.
You're watching Superscreen News at 6. We'll take a break now. When we return, it'll be time for some business stories. Stay with us. Welcome back. Many thanks for sticking around. And now for some business stories. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, announced that it realized a total amount from various taxes between January and June this year. According to the statement by the Ministry of Finance, the amount shows that the FIRS has realized 75% of its total revenue target for the year. A report on the revenue performance by the agency, which was submitted to the Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, confirmed that the 2.53 trillion naira was an increase of 746.1 billion, or 42% over the 1.78 trillion naira total, and the tax revenue realized in the corresponding period of last year. Meanwhile, the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCOM, says it has taken over Sigma Apartments, owned by Sigma Engineering and Construction, being promoted by a former Minister of Sports and Social Development, Samaila Sambawa. According to a statement by the corporation on Friday, the takeover follows an order by Justice Nyako of the Federal High Court, Abuja Division, which came upon the application of AMCOM after it claimed that it had exhausted all avenues of peaceful resolution with the obligor regarding the 1 billion naira debt. In compliance with the court order and with the support of the Inspector General of Police as well as court bailiffs, AMCOM, through its receiver, Babatunde Alabi, took possession of the assets of Sigma Apartments, its right and compliance with the lawful authority. And now the Nigerian Airports Authority, NPA, has announced a 10-day suspension of the services of 4 shipping companies in the first instance. According to a statement by the Assistant General Manager, Corporate and Strategic Communications of the Nigerian Port Authority, Issa Suwaid, at the expiration of the expansion, the agency will review the level of the firm's compliance with its directive. The affected shipping companies whose suspension takes effect from today are Maersk Line, Costco Shipping, APS, and Lansol. We'll take another break now. When we return, we'll take some foreign stories plus some sports news. Stay with us.